L-I-L, man. J-O-E-C-O-C-A-M-O. Holla at me, man. Somebody want y'all to do for me on this one, man. Come on now, say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. G, y'all know me, L-I-L-J-O-E, same OG. Back in the club and I've been low key. Pass that drink, pass that weed. To the bar, let's get tipsy. You know Hennessy and ice on me, and I'm gon' get it straight bubbly with the freaks to the top in the VIP. So put them grands up, gon' put your hands up. Cleveland in here, I want everybody to stand up. We been drinking, the beats banging, so man up. And we sweating bad, so what the cut? Put your hands up, wave side to side. You know what's going down tonight. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. You know what's going down tonight. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. You know what's going down tonight. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. Oh yeah, she wanna ride with a star tonight. No, she wanna ride with a baller, right? Oh no, she wanna ride with a hustler tie. All day, all night, with me, whole life. She wanna drop the top and talk that talk and walk that walk that make girls wanna model. She wanna sip out of Gravy's bottles, ride good out of brand new Tahoes. Oh yeah, 150 on the throttle. Oh yeah, she's bad like hollows. Everywhere she go, they follow. Underneath her clothes is cargo. The riches of escort go-go. The riches of escort go-go. Put your hands up, wave side to side. You know what's going down tonight. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. You know what's going down tonight. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. You know what's going down tonight. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. Take it to the top, bring it down real slow. Take it to the top, bring it down real slow. You know just how it go. You know just how it go. Take it to the top, bring it down real slow. Take it to the top, bring it down real slow. You know just how it go. You know just how it go. Come on, girl, get that cash. Come on, girl, get it fast. Make that man spill his glass. Make that man spill that cash. Come on, girl, break that bag. Then ride off in this jag. Make that man give you half. Revoke his ghetto pass. Put your hands up, wave side to side. You know what's going down tonight. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. You know what's going down tonight. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. You know what's going down tonight. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know what's going down tonight. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know what's going down tonight. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know what's going down tonight. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know what's going down tonight. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know what's going down tonight. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know what's going down tonight. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. I said, put your hands up, wave side to side. Yeah.
Are you gonna listen to the move?
I've been out the loop since '09.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back to get at that, though.
Check this. I'm at the motherfucking house last night. Guess what the fuck I see?
What you see?
Shamika, what's up?
Fuck you think you fucking with? It's Maxwell, bitch.
Fuck you in them shoes.
Bitch, I'm about to stalk you with these shoes.
I thought I told you to get a jump to Crazy D.
I did give it to Crazy D. You know D, you must have seen money in that. You know he used to produce those nudie DVDs.
Fuck you, thin man. I know you did it.
Don't let your mouth write a check, so I will take it out on your ass.
Damn, man. You serious?
I don't appreciate being roughed up by men.
or should I say male bitches.
Yeah, you gonna work out. And we look for young ladies like you to host them.
I look like somebody that can host your videos.
That's right. So go change, cause we ain't got all day.
Get off the her.
Pretty good, though. What's on that bullshit?
Crazy. What the hell? How you in my room?
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps.
Here's the thing about your movie, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe Film community, heart.
It's Friday, episode 58 of hashtag ObservationTFR by Crazy D with my special guest host, my sister Tanya M. Congress. Let's bring you up. Let's check out the microphone, check out the sound. How's everything going for you this morning?
Good morning. How is the listening audience today? I am doing wonderful again for the second night this week. I wasn't up as late as I was the other night, but close. Maybe give it about an hour. I was up till close to 6 o'clock this morning and up at about 10:30. And, for me, that's a little late. I'm usually 8 to 8:30 is the time that I'm up, but I stayed in bed a little longer. But of course, as I usually have, I can't tip the boat but so much because I have my ginger and water to keep from drying out. But I have a Gala apple cut up here and my ginger, and then I have my Power Pack tea of the hawthorn berry, the hawthorn berry, and all of the other stuff that I put in there from this week. It's been the same thing all week this week with this tea. And then I've been drinking, later on in the day, I've been drinking parsley tea. That's something, parsley water. That's something that was recommended to me. You boil water and you put a handful of parsley in there. Make sure that it's enough to make the water, you smell the parsley, and you can taste the parsley water. It'll turn a bit green, bit yellow, but that's good for water retention. If any of you retain water from time to time, of course, if you retain heavy amounts of water where you have prolonged periods of water retention in your feet and legs, you need to go and get examined to see exactly what that is. Some of it is hormonal. Some of it is connected to your heart and kidney. So you need to see what it is. Once you see what it is, you can look up the right information on how to manage it. But if you're applying the wrong antidote to the wrong thing, then you can be working in the adverse against your body. Okay. But I'm ready for the day. This is Friday. Boy, these weeks are passing. I don't know if I'm getting older, or I ain't gonna never say old. I will never say old, but I'm aging. And because I'm aging, the time is going faster.
For those who know that melody, we won't say the words, but for those who know the melody, yes, I brought that out in a whistle without laughing. As soon as I start laughing, the whistle is gone. All right, people. First of all, we want to drop and shout out to all of our people watching us on Periscope, Vimeo, social media, and of course, the Film Review Life channel. The Film Review Life channel on YouTube. Go over there, smash the like button, the share button. They're trying to clip us. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, I just shouted out to the people and they wanted to clip us. But anyway, the Film Review Live channel, smash that subscribe button, smash the like button, link your people to this. Let people know that we are on, because this is the 4th, 5th episode. And you know, we're doing 5-part series, and this is the 4th part, actually 5th part. You know what happened for those who watch. Just let the fox in the hen house for 5, okay? And what is the topic? Believe Biden won. You're part of the problem. Believe Biden won. You're part of the problem. Smash the like button, smash the share button. Go over to the Film Review Life channel and subscribe. Subscribe. We want to see 100 subscribers off of this video alone. Now, for all the people, hold up. I know that you believe that American black people were out there and they got it done for Biden. I know you believe that because the media has you in this incantation. We talked about that already. Stay with us, though. Stay with us. Don't bail out too fast. I know the dopamine is not going to release initially, but we're putting on a great show, and it's entertaining but informative at the same time. So do not drop out when you hear something that you don't like, or you see something you don't like. Stay with it. It's very important that you get this information, because what we told you in episodes before has now come to pass with the immigrants. They're telling you what type of immigrants now, and you weren't listening, and you thought, what's his plan for you? Has he said anything about you lately? He said, thanks, you did it. But you really didn't. But we're going to get to that. Stay with us. Okay, so believe Biden won. You're part of the problem. The fox in the hen house. Coming to the hen house. Just let the fox in the hen house brings another 4-week shutdown. 4 to 5 weeks, they say now. Another 4 to 5 week shutdown. 1 million dreamers, 500,000 Indians from India, and no vaccine, no work, and a partridge in a pear tree. That's what this sounds like. I'm sorry, but this is what this sounds like. What is going on? You got to have a little humor. You got to have some humor in this, because wow, this is incredible. They have done a hatchet job on American blacks this time. How are you going to keep watching? You got to smash the share button and the like button. I mean, they laid out a litany of what they're doing, and you're not included. And they included the partridge in the pear tree. You know, the 12 days of Christmas. And just like when that song was made, the Negro was not considered. Okay, so anyway, let's continue. Did he really win? We have to start to ask that question. And that's going to be pivotal to what we're talking about today. Did he really win? Everyone should start asking the hard questions. Nope. You believe he won. Sad. So let's keep going. Next, to bring fear and obedience. To bring fear and obedience, they're going to start to talk about a food shortage, a scare, limited bottled water. Like water isn't free. Like everybody's drinking bottled water. I remember when bottled water first came out in the 90s, my wife and I, we were laughing. There ain't nobody gonna drink. Next thing we know, we was drinking bottled water. But anyway, let's continue. Like a scare, limited bottled water. You can go get the rain and collect. But anyway, they're gonna say it's the worst COVID-19 outbreak since it first began. We must quarantine again 4 to 6 weeks to cut the virus. All this to control your forward movement. Did Biden really win? We should start asking the hard questions, or at least stand up and say, we can't afford another shutdown. As American blacks, we are not in Europe. We desire to continue to practice social distancing. No shutdown because you said you wouldn't. You only shut down the virus. Now, when he said that, people, and I said people are going to take that hook, line, and sinker, but you got to look at it. To shut down the virus, you would have to shut down the economy and stop people from being in social contact. So you just had to use context clues on that, right? Stay true to your word, Biden. Stay true to your word. But did you really win? Maybe Trump did win after all. Maybe our new president and vice president should take the vaccine first. Like Trump took experimentals, which had him up and out hustling you, Biden. Let's discuss. The phone lines are open. 213-943-3358. The phone lines are open at 213-943-3358. The chat line is open on the Film Review Life channel right here on this episode. We'll read your responses over the air. Make sure that you smash the share button, the like button. We are taking a journey today. The key to all of this is saying and asking the question, did you really win? If you really won, there are certain things that we are not going to take. We are not sheeple. We are not sheeple. And we do not want another lockdown. We want social distancing while still communicating and coming in contact with each other. No lockdown, shutdown where the streets are barren and you can only go out and shop and then come back. We don't want that. I was asking when people were voting for Biden, I was asking just common sense. You were actually following the Trump plan because you were out there partying like Prince's 1999. You were out there, hardly no mask on, taking pictures. Oh, this is over. I thought you had herd immunity or something. That you were building herd immunity in the American black community. And guess who will get it hardest? The American black community. Okay, so we've gone through setting up the plan. On the first episode, we talked about putting the foot to the pedal, to the metal, to be successful during a Biden-Harris administration for the first 4 years. And we talked about your children, your grandchildren, your great-great-great-great-grandchildren, your legacy being successful, going to the best schools possible, if they be public, magnet, school choice, or something that you pay for, they get the greatest education possible so they can advance to the highest offices in the land, because the game is anyone who actually came from descendants of slavery will not see the highest offices in the land, which means president and vice president. That's the game. And that means to excel to the highest offices, you have to make sure that your kids are highly educated. They don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't use drugs, they don't smoke weed. They don't wind up in a jail cell or in the penal system. That is how you would succeed. How you're saying that you are succeeding, being that you voted for a segregationist. Stay with us now. You may not like us saying that, but when you research, we gave the research to you, but you need to research now. Go back and watch our episodes. When you voted for a segregationist, he's there to finish the job, and your job is to make sure that your descendants, your legacy is not incarcerated during this time, because he's going to reverse everything. He said he's going to reverse everything Trump did. So that means that all those people who got out of jail on the first step, they're all of a sudden going to get picked up and put back in. Now, healing. There's two parts to each one of these. It's the plan and then how to heal while you're doing the plan. Know what meritorious manumission is and eliminate it from out of your mental diet. 2, invest in stock shares in companies who you use their product. Your demise can be your gain. So anything you use McDonald's, you go to McDonald's, is going to give you high blood pressure, possibly just by opinion, observation. You get stock in that. Right? Now, as far as communication skills, the ability to agree, to disagree when two people don't agree, and that's how you keep the unity and keep people from butting heads. Number 3, there is no black and brown, no black and Indian from India, no black and Asian, fill in the blank, no black and Jewish, no black, etc. coalitions. We have no coalitions. Everyone jumps on with us to have us use our voice so they can get the set-asides that were put aside for us. Healing 3. Once you admit that you hate being black, that's when you will start healing, and you will research and find out why you feel that way, that you feel that you are not appreciated, or you don't appreciate yourself, you don't feel yourself worthy, you loathe yourself because you're black. Now, number 4, today, what we're going to talk about. Question to resist. You have to question to resist. Why do you have to question to resist? Because we are a people, if we believe in something so much, even if that something or someone does ill to us, we won't resist. Did he really win? Is the question to keep the foot up Biden and Harris's asses. Resistance to all non-American black factors or factions until and way after reparations are paid. And part 4 of healing is correcting his story to the point the world knows who really built America. That when they tell those fictitious tales, they say, wait a minute, what about the American black? Now, let's get to some memes, right? Let's get to some memes. Stay with it now, because these are psych and psychological thought. Let's look up psych. Let's look up the word psychological first, Tanya. Let's look up the word psychological as we get ready to begin the memes for the day, because we're getting ready to hit some rocky river. It's going to be a rocky river this morning, right? And so we want to make sure that we have these definitions, right? we want to make sure that we have these definitions. So, what is psychological?
It is of or relating to psychology. Secondary is mental, directed toward the will or toward the mind specifically in its connotative function. Psychology, because it says that relating to psychology. So let's do psychology. I'm starting to become disenchanted with Merriam-Webster's. Okay, so psychology, the science of mind and behavior, the mental or behavioral characteristics of an individual or group. Secondary, the study of mind and behavior in relation to a particular field of knowledge or activity.
So they already know your psyche. So you then have to, what you haven't done is question to resist. This is very important. This is a four-legged stool plan that we made. You have to question to resist. Let's look up psyche. What is psyche? Let's look up psyche real quick before we begin with the means. We have to have these definitions. So, because sometimes we throw these words out and people will say they just gloss over, or their eyes will gloss over and say, what is psychological? What is psyche? So what is psyche?
Psyche is the totality of elements forming the mind. Specifically in Freudian psychoanalytic theory, the id, ego, superego, including both conscious and unconscious components. That's really good. Including both conscious and unconscious components.
There we go. So Freud, the ego, the superego, and the id, or the devil on your shoulder, the angel on your shoulder, or where they got it from, the angels of goodness and mercy who follow you throughout all of your days, and either keep your body intact in the casket or rip you from limb to limb as you take your eternal sleep. But anyway, that's another story for another time. You know what I'm saying? Right? Stay with us. Stay with us. Now, so we've got that, right? So your id tells you, man, they don't know what they talking about. Your superego says, oh man, I should listen and get the information. And this is a battle between the id and the superego forming your ego. You are in the middle. You are the person. That is what ego, superego, id, or whichever level, you left or right, whatever you, however you want to put them. But that's what it is. So let's look at this first meme, since we've got that cleared up now. Okay. Remember, no one is perfect. Everyone's ash has a crack in it. Remember, no one is perfect. Everyone's ash has a crack in it. Right? And that's where your depository waste comes out. It's just full of... Anyway, let's keep moving. And some people are full of... So they're not perfect. So we just keep moving on that. Okay, so next meme. Smash the share button. Smash the like button. Right? Here we go. Grand Rising. We must remove ourselves out from under the mind control of those selfish entities which are tools of the system. Smash the share button, smash the like button. We're getting ready to take you on this ride right here this morning. Grand Rising. We must remove ourselves. Oh, they're trying to clip us this morning. I don't know what it is. What's going on? Okay. All right. Grand Rising, we must remove ourselves out from under the mind control of those selfish entities which are tools of the system. What system are we talking about? You need to go back and watch some other episodes, but you just apply whatever system. If you want to say the Matrix, just say the Matrix, and everything within the Matrix is, you get the point. Okay. Now, stay with this now, because you may not like what you're hearing, but stay with this and hear this so that you will have a better understanding, middle standing, overstanding. Black voters just saved the lives of millions of poor white people who depend on welfare and Obamacare but voted for Trump. A threat to both programs. Okay. So let's pause right there. First of all, if you believe what the echo chamber has been telling you, that American blacks were the reason that Joe Biden won, then how come you're not all up in Joe Biden's butt and Harris's butt right now when they said something about nothing but immigration? And you were not immigrants. No matter how you cut it, if we were already here or part of the 388,000 that came to these shores, you're not an immigrant. And so stay with, smash the share button, smash something very important. So one, that's just like how they made the face. This is what they did. They made the face of the corruption black people. You didn't see any white people sitting there during the tallying of the votes. They have up front black people being the face. All those people, if it's found to be irregularity, all of those people are going to see the inside of a prison cell. This is sad. This is sad, right? So, but keep believing that you helped. And here's another thing. Here's another psychological thing. Another psyche of your psyche. Of your ego, your super ego. It's really your id that's controlling this, right? Why do you feel that you need the approval of white people so much that you got to let them know that you helped them? They obviously said, well, we didn't need your help. We didn't need your help. You know the rest. We didn't need your help, right? But you're saying that to make them want to pat you on the back and bring you some butter biscuits. But they're not going to do that because they don't think that you helped, because your prayers don't go above your head. Okay, that's unconscious. This is an unconscious meme. Stay with us. Now, flipping over to a conscious meme. So y'all telling me a dude who had 50 people at his rallies, no police or military backing, got more votes than Obama, who gave the Hope speech? Yeah, okay. Now we talked about that psychology a couple of episodes back, where we said, how is it that Obama had all the hustle, Hustle, and you're letting this Caucasian hustle you, Hussle, getting you to dance and do all of that, and he never even came out of his basement, and you equated him to the level of Obama, and he didn't even do as much hustle as Obama did, but you equated the same. That means that you hate yourself. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Stay with us. Don't clear. I know you was like, I don't hate myself. I just love Biden more than I love my black people. That's all. But anyway, let's continue. Yeah, you're gonna see how much you're gonna be loving them when those 500,000. But anyway, we'll keep going. Okay, let's go. All right. So now, Here's another conscious meme. And this is what a lot of black people should get into their minds. Not just against each other, but towards trying to get the acceptance of Caucasians. Caucasians are not going to accept you because they have white fragility. White fragility has to do with biology. The biology that you should already know if you were somewhat proficient in dominant and recessive genes, and how dominant and recessive, how dominant overtakes recessive. Anyway, let's go with this one. Bad news is you can't make people like, understand, accept, or be nice to you. You can't control them either. Good news is it doesn't matter. Love is my motivation. Yes. Bad news is you can't make people like, understand, accept, or be nice to you. You can't control them either. Good news is it doesn't matter. You see, it doesn't matter. Their acceptance of you doesn't matter. You had the reparations, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and run your conclave over there and just have acceptance. Okay. So now, anyone who comes from the Midwest or the East or other places, the North Pole, South Pole, Antarctica, the Antarctic or the Arctic, the Antarctic or the Arctic, you know this. You've seen this. My favorite part about winter is, I have to throw this in, right? Let me move this up a little bit so you can see it. Now. There we go. My favorite part about winter is watching it on TV from Las Vegas. Yeah, just throw that in there. Yeah, you know. Just to throw that in there. I thought that was good. That's just a little breakup. But the representation of the car, sometimes American black people are in that scrum right there. They're in the middle of that bottleneck due to white climate that keeps you in a sticky, icky, stuck in the snow situation. And you know that being stuck in the snow didn't help us any. You know, for those who decided to partake in dealing snow, it really didn't help. Salt, sugar, white bread, come to find out, it's really bad for you, for your internals. Let's keep going.
Those cars only had 1/8 of a tank of gas.
Oh, say that again.
I said, I wonder how many of those cars only had 1/8 of a tank of gas.
Right, 1/8 of a tank of gas. That means they're getting ready to check out while they're thinking that their vote will make them acceptable and accepted by Caucasians. Toxic people stop talking to you instead of apologizing when they are wrong. They left the R out. But anyway, toxic people stop talking to you instead of apologizing when they are wrong.
They sure do.
They are wrong and they do not apologize to you. Now, we've shown a lot of things on these shows, and people come back and they say, you know, you were right about that, but they never apologize about the snide remarks that they said in between the time of taking too long to wake up. Okay, here we go. Here's another. Smash the share button, smash the like button. This goes along with that gridlock due to the white snow. No matter how cold it is outside, somebody still sleep with the fan on. No matter how cold it is outside, somebody still sleep with the fan on. Yeah. Yeah. Just different perspectives. You see how we don't think like a monolith? And so different things happen. You say, I would never do that myself. It's cold outside. I would have the heat. It would be chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost very seldom nipping at my nose. I'm inside with my eyes all aglow, looking at the radiant heater, keeping me warm tonight. Cause I know that imaginary crack is on his way. He's got lots of goodies and toys on his sleigh. Everybody. Okay, anyway. All right. Just in from our people at Hollywood Unlocked. Just in from the Hill. Spotlighted by our people at Hollywood Unlocked. Just in, Trump administration reaches agreements with pharmacies to distribute COVID-19 vaccine for free. Now, do you remember, or has the sugar overtaken your brain so much that your short-term memory is gone? Do you remember just a month ago when Trump said that the vaccine would be ready either just before the election or after the election, right? And the same people who are trying to take credit for it now because Biden is president-elect are trying to take credit for it and say, yes, this is ready and it's going to be ready. Fauci, who said it wouldn't probably be ready until mid next year, he's like, yes, it's a great announcement. It's something that's lying to you and you're going to accept it. But Trump is still working and making sure that it's free. Did Biden actually win? Because we need to find out something. I'm not talking about Trump, but I am talking about Biden now because you love him so much. You love him like Al Jolson loved Mammy. How I love you, how he loved his mammy. But anyway, look. Okay, look. Al Jolson, what a disgrace. In my opinion, my observation. But anyway, look. All those blackface wearing people. Even the black people who wear blackface now. But I don't know. But anyway, look. He's making sure it's free so you don't have to be charged for it, right? So I'm not about Trump. I'm about Biden because you love him so much like Al Jolson loved his mammy. And so you have to make sure that your priorities, being that you so-called quote unquote got him in, you have to make sure that American black priorities are the first thing on the table, not immigration. We need to be talking about reparations for 3 or 4 years before we even get to talking about immigration. That has to be resolved, right? So, we're just bringing reality to you. Smash the share button, smash the like button, smash the subscription button on the Film Review Life channel. Okay, here's another one. Here's one that is interesting. This is what we've been talking about today. Are you ready? Also from our people over at Hollywood Unlocked. Biden COVID advisor says another U.S. lockdown of 4 to 6 weeks could, listen to the word, they don't know, could control pandemic and revive the economy. Now, wait a minute. The economy is already moving. I can tell by the way people are partying like it's 1999. If you allow, they're trying to clip us. What is going on? What is going on? You're trying to clip us. all I'm doing is making a point. Let me tell you something. For those who don't know, these different social media platforms have been practicing a strict diet of censorship. Yes, sir. If you're posting things that are positive towards it, kind of unconscious stuff, not conscious to it. See, you know you're unconscious if you think that one side is racist but the other side isn't. Then you're unconscious, you're sleepwalking. But anyway, when you're pressing things like this and just asking questions, they have blocked the hashtags so they don't go anywhere. That's like your currency on the internet. They take down images and say this image is locked, and you just put it up. But if it's not what they're talking about, all of this is, you are looking at a communist style situation happening where the only propaganda, the propaganda they want up is positive, and anything that's going against the propaganda is seen as negative, and they lock it and they block it and they take it down so it has no life on the internet. This is what you thought Trump was going to do, but they were projecting. Look up the English term projection. And say in English language, what does projection mean? See, it's very important that you know these definitions. What you are looking at when you are watching this now. First, they told you that it wouldn't be until 6 months, way next year, that the vaccine. Trump said it would be before or after the election. You have forgotten that Trump said that because you weren't listening. And now they're taking credit for it right now, talking about shutting everything down. You were partying, you were following the Trump plan, but you voted against your worst interest because racist on one side is racist on the other side. It's all the same. What is projection in the English language?
It is an estimate of what might happen in the future based on what is happening now. Something that sticks out from a surface. Oh, that's another meaning. And the rest of it doesn't matter. But it's the estimate of what might happen in the future based on what's happening now.
Okay, that's projection, like statistics. That's cool. But the projection I'm talking about is a person projects onto another person what's actually in their heart. Like, they'll look and say,
psychological projection.
Yeah, psychological projection. So they look, but in the English language, that is a writing style that you use to project. It's like slippery slope. It's like the 15 fallacies, and what goes along with the 15 fallacies is how to use that phraseology and using projection to project onto someone else. That's what's actually inside of you, is the use and the theory of using projection in phraseology. You got the definition? You got it? Did you? Okay, let's see. So, projection.
It's a defense mechanism in which the ego defends itself against unconscious impulses or qualities, both positive and negative, by denying their existence in themselves by attributing them to others. For example, a bully might project their own feelings of vulnerability onto the target.
Exactly, right? So there's a difference between somebody talking snit and somebody that uses projection, which is phraseology, right? Which is part of the use of the 15 fallacies, right? And they use this, and you fall for it every time because you haven't studied English. How are you going to be able to combat the 500,000 who know the Queen's English if you don't know this? Biden COVID advisor says another U.S. lockdown of 4 to 6 weeks could control pandemic and revive the economy. The economy is already rolling. Soon as you shut it down, the people are not going to be able to afford to keep their restaurants open. You have to question, did he actually win? And if you did, this is what we want. We do not want another shutdown. We want to continue practicing social distancing so our economy can stay revving, because we will not be able to survive another lockdown. Okay? Okay. So this right here is extreme unconscious meme creation. Extreme unconscious meme creation. Though the person was well-meaning, or maybe they weren't. Maybe these are Russian bots. Look. Losers in 1865. I don't know. Jane Q. Esquire just got put on the Supreme Court. I don't know. But losers in 1865, the Confederate flag. You losers in 1945. The Aryans over here marching and, I don't know. And losers in 2020. Make America great again. Now, this is a straw man argument. It's got multiple of the 15 fallacies within it. But we're going to go straw man, putting a person up and saying that they are like Nazi Germany, like the Confederates, right? And so you have to be able to decipher this, because I have a question. Where have you heard Donald Trump espouse anything like what Adolf Hitler was espousing? When have you ever heard Donald Trump espouse anything that had to do with the Confederacy? So now, if you wanted to be fair, then you would have made a little room and you would have put the face of young Biden at 51. Losers in 2020. Because Biden needed you, quote unquote, but before he was calling you roaches that were rubbing his blonde legs in the pool. He was saying that he didn't want to desegregate because he didn't want the urban jungles. He didn't want his kids going to the urban jungles. He is a segregationist. He also co-wrote and pushed the 100-to-1 crack cocaine to powder that put you away, and then came back a decade later with 3 strikes. So if you're going to look at a person who actually is 1865 Confederate, then you would look at Joe Biden. And the reason why all of this can flourish is because American black people are confused. There is no good white person. Let me bring this down so it'll be clear, so you can hear me clearly and you'll understand what I'm saying. And so you will be clear. Let me bring this down and look at you so you will be clear what I'm saying. There are no good white people unless they are talking and pushing for you as American black people to have reparations. If they are not talking about that, they are part of the 1865. They are part of the Nazi Germany, 1939 it actually began. We gave that information. That was when the war started, but the 39 was when the Nazis came to power. And then in 2020, or you would say back in 2016 when that started, if that is so, if they are not talking, and Biden now, from Biden at age 51, 47 years in public service, quote unquote, if they are not talking about reparations now, If they want to talk about it then, now, and in the future, there are no good white people, because it would mean that white people will have to redistribute the wealth that they got from being immigrants that had not been in this country as long as American black people. Whew. We're getting ready to come to the second hour of the show. At this point, what do you have to say before we continue on?
Yeah, that's kind of hot, ain't it, y'all? It's kind of hot, ain't it? It's hot. Oh, well, they're on that show, you know, they're encouraging racism, and they're encouraging they're speaking anti-white rhetoric and blah, 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 blah. No. See, this has always been the problem. You know, we have even been trained to be jelly. You understand what I'm saying? It's everybody's feelings is on their sleeve about their own ego. You know, you have to be able to look at things. Now, look at this. Let's go back. Now, we went through the memes. Now, they want to do a 4 to 6 week shutdown. And while we are shut down, you know, while you not being able to go to your job, this is when the immigrants going to be dancing across the border. Oh, because believe me, they're going to leave some loopholes where they can get done where they can get done. And when you show up back to work, they're going to be there. Hi, welcome. Let me see. Let me think of one. Havdeed Patel. You know, welcome him to the job. We need you to train Mr. Patel on this particular machine. Yeah, this is one of our best right here. That's what they could tell him, Patel. This is one of our best workers right here. He's one of the best ones. He's the most efficient. And so we've given you right. And you shining. You shining, beaming, you know, all happy, you know. Oh, yeah, the boss recognized me. Yeah. And you just happy. Well, yes, of course. Of course I'll train them. I'm happy to oblige, boss. I'm happy to oblige. Let me... I'm happy to, yes, I'll be happy to do that, because now in a split second of time while they're pumping up your ego, you didn't got to feel so good about being pumped up. You like, well, of course I'll train them, because now you want more accolades. You got a peep game. You want more accolades, so now you're going to take them to this machine. And you're not going to hold back nothing. You're going to train them and everything, even your secrets on what makes you more efficient and the quickest. You know, you got some shortcuts that are effective and it doesn't sacrifice the integrity of the product and the brand, but you got some shortcuts that you came up with out of your intellectual property. You came up with some shortcuts that you're using on your part of the job. You're going to share those with them too. And then he's going to, because he is who he is, or she is who she is, they're automatically coming in, being looked at as better than you from the beginning. All they needed was a little training. Because when they get ready to devalue you and hand you your pink slip, and you say, but didn't I train these people that you brought in here? Yeah, well, and we thank you for your service of your entry level training. You trained entry level. And so our company to the next level is what they're going to do, you know, and you guys got to pay attention. This is not just the only thing. They're forecasting it. They're telling you.
Look here. A baby picking cotton. A baby. An American black baby. If America was ever great, this is how they did it. Now, who trained some Caucasians how to get out there and pick some cotton but the black man and woman? And someone was telling them, one of the real field Negroes that weren't trying to get in the house was trying to tell them, don't do that. Don't train them. Don't They were giving you warnings. Next thing you know, you was strung up on the tree. We showed that episode already. Look. While you're sitting and doing nothing, American black people, thinking that your job was done and you'll be back up to bat in 3 1/4 for the, to vote again. They are already moving and saying they are shutting down. This may be 2.0. This is Governor Sisolak. Now, we talked about this a couple of days ago, but as the memes come up, as people catch up, we grab the memes and show you in more concise and precise presentations as they come up. So here we go. Sisolak warns Nevada may enter stay-at-home 2.0 if the people aren't able to get it together. Guess what? American blacks are down in the historical West, in the north of the valley, partying like it's 1999. So it's not going to happen. Okay, people. Smash the share button, smash the like button, because we have our only video presentation edited up by yours truly. That's me, Crazy D. This is what it is. And of course, we're going to break this down. Now, remember, weeks ago, like 3-4 weeks ago, maybe 5, we were talking about American blacks staying out of the way and letting the anarchists and the accelerationists handle this, and you just do the tried and true, aged like a fine wine wisdom of, I'm just going to be out here watching, staying out the way. I'm just going to be over here, staying out the way, just observing. Right? Didn't we say that? And then we say that the Caucasians, they're going to go back to where they come from, and it's not going to be anything unless they poor whites. Now, let me put a caveat there that if they're poor whites, maybe not, but the rich ones that are talking anarchy and death to America, they're going to be able to go back to we told you this, right? So guess what happened to one of the protesters who got just a teeny little bit violent. All of this destruction, all of this fire, people getting smacked and hit with dormitory locks, like locker locks, like all of this on chains. And guess what color, guess what race the person is that's hemmed up right now?
Oh, he's black.
Oh, yes, that's right. And we told people you should do the old adage, at like a fine wine, aged like a fine wine, wisdom. Yeah, I'm going to be over here. I'm going to be out the way. I'm just going to observe this, because this is between anarchists, accelerationists, and the state force. And we should be out the way. We shouldn't be joining sides. So watch this. Watch this. Now remember, let me preface this by saying no accomplices, no charges for other people, you know what I'm saying, accessories to the crime, nothing like that. Here we go. Watch.
The man who brutally assaulted another man in a viral video amid this summer's protests has been sentenced to 20 months in prison. Marquise Love turned himself in after that attack was caught on camera back in August. He was charged with third-degree assault and felony riot. Yesterday, it was announced that he changed his plea to guilty and was sentenced. Love will also face 36 months of probation, along with an alcohol abuse evaluation. The victim, local law enforcement, and the state all agreed on the plea deal. During his court hearing yesterday, officials say Love apologized to the victim and expressed remorse for his actions.
Okay, so the question is, why did he feel that he had to do that? Just our observation, our opinions, because I know that he has loved ones, right? But why did he feel that he had to get out there? Because he's calling the contriteness. He's calling contriteness now. He's sorry that he did it, right? Which means that he doesn't even know why he did it. All he knows is that he did it. Now he's got 20 months. 20 months to go inside the prison system and possibly fall into the ills that are in the prison system. He's light skinned, he's got long hair. Just saying, the ills. And when he gets out, he won't be able to vote because it's a felony. He won't be able to vote. He pleaded guilty to a felony. Won't be able to vote. Won't be able to get housing as a felon. Won't be able to get housing, rent housing, buy a house as a felon. He won't be able to find employment that will not judge him. He had a good job. He had a security shirt on. There he is out in the middle of the street beating somebody up with a security shirt. He had a good job. He won't be able to vote. Did I say that already? His life is changed forever over following. No one else around got any accessory. Nothing. Nothing. But here he is. He doesn't even know why he did it, but it was that incantation that kept pumping at him that, oh my God, these people are racist. And it didn't matter if the dude ran his truck through. Who was he to then be the visual anti? Let one of the whites, because it's a white on white battle. That's what we was trying to tell you. This is the anarchist and the accelerationist with the force of the state. And neither one of those sides are good for American blacks, because the anarchists want to fail the state and the accelerationists want to fail the state for different varying reasons on opposing sides, but it still amounts to the same thing to American black people. And that's why you're supposed to battle for your interest only and learn from the mistakes of the past, so agent provocateurs can't come in and get you hemmed up. That's another story for another time. So let's continue on now. Now, we're getting ready to come to Biden, right? Now, this is before the election, 6 months before the election. Now, these clips that we have of Biden are 6 months before the election, and he's telling you what he thinks about immigrants. And in this clip, he really is telling you what he thinks about American black people. Now, listen very closely. Listen very closely.
And these kids who come and they end up doing well, they become Americans before a lot of Americans become Americans.
So the audience starts laughing because what is he talking about? They become Americans before many Americans become Americans. They do well. Who is he speaking about? Who is he speaking in code about? The ones that fought for fair education but languish in schools that are underfunded and not in the latest situations why parents have to move into neighborhoods to try to put their kids in schools that have great education systems, usually with the Caucasians who fled the inner city. Who is he talking about? He's talking about the dreamers, but who are the people who they are more American? They make to be American before they are. Before many Americans become truly American. He's talking about American blacks. Read between the lines. Listen again. Listen again.
And these kids who come and they end up doing well, they become Americans before a lot of Americans become Americans. No, I'm serious. They get in school. They do well. They contribute to the community. They contribute to the country.
All right, now Democrats continue to spew divisive, hateful rhetoric and attack the president.
I know, okay, you're getting ready to see Hannity, and you say, oh my God, Hannity. Oh my God, oh my God. But if you don't listen to if you don't watch other news, then you will not be able to get to the nugget of what is happening. We watch all the news because we have to get to the nugget of what is happening. What is Biden talking about? They contribute to the community. They are Americans before. Remember what Michelle Obama said. She said this is the first time she ever felt like she really felt good about America. She felt like an American. Ain't that what she said? He's using what he's heard and learned to use it against the very people who thought that their votes really made a difference when actually they stole the election. So now listen. Remember I said, dopamine may not release, but you have to listen to what we bring. We don't bring anything to harm you. We bring things to bring you information. Information and being able to catch, analyze, retain, or catch, analyze, retain, and shoot, or catch, analyze, and shoot. Information is power, okay? So let's listen to what they have to say, and we're going to stop and give commentary. So here we go.
Spew divisive, hateful rhetoric and attack the president and his supporters every second, every hour, every day. For example, new book coming out. Former President Obama said President Trump exploited millions of Americans spooked by a black man in the White House, even adding that his victory in 2008 led to a new toxic brand of politics fueled by Republicans. That how he's talking about 72 million people? Like John McCain's running mate, Sarah Palin. Wow.
Pause right there. Now, Obama, Mr. not American black man, but black man who was Mr. Optimism. Mr. Oh man, post-racial America. All of a sudden, he's coming out talking the way we needed him to talk when they were killing many of the black men. And we continue the list. Let's look at the list real quick. We needed him talking that as he got into office, and it became a kill shoot. Week after week, month after month. I even stopped putting in if it's Democrat or Republican. You get my point. The majority of the municipalities were Democrat. So I stopped even putting it in, right? So let's see. We left off with Alonzo Ashley, Denver, Colorado. The government, the municipality was Dixiecrat. He was killed, hog-tied basically, put in a hog-tied position by 8 Denver, Colorado police officers at the Denver Zoo because he exhibited disoriented actions after suffering a heat stroke. They put him in the hog-tie position and he dies. Keith Chamberlain Sr., White Plains, New York, November 19th, 2011. Obama's in there, nothing. Ramarley Graham, the Bronx, New York, February 2nd, 2012. That's Black History Month, y'all. Dead, killed by police. Manuel Levy Loggins Jr., San Clemente, Orange County, California, February 7th, 12. That's Black History Month, y'all. Dead by police. Raymond L. Allen Jr., Galveston, Texas. What's Galveston, Texas? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's when the Union Army came in with the general. What's his name? Anyway, but they told the last slaves of that time that didn't get the memo in Galveston, Texas, that they were free, and that's where Juneteenth comes from. When did this happen? February 29th, 12, the last day of Black History Month in 12. Nothing. Dante L. Price, Dayton, OH10, March 1st, 12. Nothing. Nehemiah L. Dillard, Gainesville, Florida, 3/5/12, March 5th, 12. Nothing. Wendell James Allen, New Orleans, Louisiana, March 7th, 12. Jersey K. Green, Aurora, Illinois, March 12th, 12. Sharice Francis, Queens, New York, 3/15/12. Now I remember that story. I think that they slammed her on her head on the curb in the street and she never regained consciousness. If that's the same one. All of this happening under a democratic situation, and you feel that you're jamming in the streets and you're happy and you think that you're saved because the Dixiecrat, the segregationists who created the laws that make the streets and the police the way that they are today towards American black people, it is in office, and you think it's gonna be better. Anyway, so let's continue. So let's see what else Biden is talking about. Wait a minute. Hold it.
I looked up Sharice Francis, boy, she has an uncanny look, similar. She looks like Loretta Devine, but she was suffocated and murdered by 4 New York police officers in her family home in Rockdale, Queens, New York. Although she was diagnosed with, that was it. She was diagnosed with schizophrenia while studying at Nassau Community College. She was also able to control it through her use of medication and hard work in school. Her father, mother, and sister, George Francis. Okay, yeah. Yeah, she was mentally ill.
She needed some FANAP, but that did not mean when those 4 police officers came in there and she was looking at them and they were actually looking at her to do her harm. There is another that happened, so I'm glad that you looked that up. There is another that happened where they slammed her on but we're going to get to that. Okay, look. So let's see what else Biden strangled. And basically strangled, they said suffocated, but basically strangled to death in her home by 4 police who were called to help when really the ambulatory service should have came to help. Okay, so let's see what else Biden is talking to Bernie about. Bernie, what a disappointment, Bernie, but let's continue on.
Sarah Palin, wow.
But we're going to finally achieve comprehensive immigration reform as well, put millions of citizens on a pathway to citizenship, including so many who are on the front lines right now.
Blackout author Candace Owens and civil rights attorney, we call him Leo 2.0.
All he's been talking the whole time is about immigration. Where did you ever hear anything to give him your vote for? What did he say that made you know that you should have gave him your vote? He's been talking about immigration. He was sitting up there with Bernie, who kicked, in my opinion, Nina Turner to the side to deal and focus on his Mexican advisor to push immigration, thinking that the Mexicans are the next group that will be the favorite group, while bringing in another immigrant force, Indians from India. Melanated. Best of both worlds. They know how to behave. They won't be yelling at us. So let's look at, now, a lot of people, they don't want to listen to what Candace says. You know, we've talked about Candace. No love lost there. But when these are the only people speaking for you, American blacks, because the other people that are talk immigration because they are immigrants, even if they appear to be black like you. And you fell for it. But hey, what can we say? So let's see what Candace Owens and this Leo 2.0 has to say.
He went on to say, Candace, he says in this book, for millions of Americans spooked by a black man in the White House, he promised an elixir for their racial anxiety. Didn't Donald Trump do better than any Republican in many, many years with African Americans and Hispanic Americans? Or did I misread that?
You did not misread that. And let me just say this. The language that he's using, the rhetoric that is coming out of former Barack Obama's mouth is nothing short of absolutely despicable, in my opinion. This is a man that ran on the American dream. Everyone remembers where they were the night Barack Obama won. There was a kinetic energy on the ground. It felt like we finally had arrived at a place in this country where we could put the past in the past. And he ran on that image. He didn't run on race. He didn't run on denigrating half of Americans. And let me make this clear. We live in a majority white country. 60% of white people live in this country. Is a 13% black people in this country. Barack Obama became the president of the United States because white Americans supported him.
That is the truest observation ever. And what happened was Obama didn't follow through on anything that the white ones wanted, or in actuality what American blacks wanted. The Appalachian whites didn't want to be left out, talking about having to be retrained. They wanted to gradually move from coal into solar and wind power. Slowly, the little kids get trained up in that. I'm an old dog. I'm not gonna learn new tricks. See, that's being compassionate. Even though my fight is not for them, but for American black, I can see and feel their pain. Bill Clinton. But anyway, this, you got to have a little humor in this. So, Obama did everything that people didn't really care about. He let the Republicans string him out for 2 years on the Affordable Care Act. Instead of ramming it through, he thought he was going to be the same dude that was the leader of the Harvard Law Review. Well, they didn't care about that. Once you get to the big time in Washington is like Hollywood. You might have done some community theater, but when you get to Hollywood, you got to have some chops other than community theater. And he didn't have those chops coming from the Harvard Law Review, going into being, coming from the Harvard Law Review. And then, let me put my voice on. Let me put my Obama voice on. Let's hear Amos. Yeah, that's his voice. That's that voice. Coming from the Harvard Law Review. And then becoming a community activist in Illinois, and then being catapulted to the top, the highest office in the land as president. He didn't have those chops because he only dealt with Republicans and Democrats and independents on Harvard campus when he was the magical Negro leader of the Harvard Law Review. Get out of here. I'd rather talk like myself than try to talk like someone else. I want to be myself. I'm not going to have that, what you doing, Amos? Come on over here. What's 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus? He's playing you with that. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. Come on. And you fall for it every time. He goes and does a minstrel show and busts a left-hand jump shot. So that's what we do. That's what we do. And you eat it up and you went out there and voted. But your vote didn't really get you anything. So let's go forward. And it's not going to get you anything because this is what the man has been talking about the whole time. He has not been talking about you. He said working with Obama was great, but this time we have to build back better. That's what precedes what we're playing now, which means he's dogging Obama every step of the way, and Obama comes out anyway. And then he releases a book about racism. He never talked about racism. Ridiculous. I would say Nick, but he's not even he's an African.
Americans supported him.
On day one, I'm going to send the legislative immigration reform bill to Congress to provide a roadmap to citizenship for 11 million undocumented immigrants who contribute so much to this country, including 1.7 million AAPI. My immigration policy is built around keeping families together, modernizing the immigration system by keeping families, unification, and diversity as pillars of our immigration system, which it used to be. Ending Trump's cruel and inhumane policy at the border to rip children from their mother's arms. Take immediate action to protect dreamers, including the more than 100,000 eligible dreamers from East and South Asia. Rescinding the un-American Muslim ban immediately. Restoring refugee admission in line with the values and historic leadership of our country. Raising the target to a minimum of 125,000 people a year in my first year. He's cut it down to 15. The average has been 95,000 a year. Working with Congress to establish a bipartisan legislation to ensure a minimum admission of 95,000 refugees. That's who we are. That's how my great-great-grandfather, four greats back got here. He got in a coffin ship in the Irish Sea, never knowing whether he was going to make it, and he made it to the United States of America in 1848.
You know what? I have to say something right here.
Okay. Go ahead.
This is the craziest thing I have ever heard. 11 million dreamers. 11 million dreamers. Refugees. People from all the way down to by Southeast Asia. The Muslim contrabands, or whatever he said. And this is what you brought in here. This is you. I mean, this is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. Your concerns with each group that he mentioned, it got pushed further and further away. Not that it was ever a consideration in the first place. I wonder when that meeting with Ice Cube and them going to take place. If they actually won and are sworn in, I wonder when that's going to happen. You know, the one they said to wait till they win the election and they sit down and talk with him. I wonder when that's going to happen. Somewhere in between the shutdown and when they're hustling all these immigrants in here. And you didn't care enough to stand about reparations. You just think, oh, you're just causing trouble. Why don't you just work your job and be happy and accept your lot and just be happy? I'm content. I'm all right. You know, especially you 6-figure people, especially y'all. Oh, I'm fine. I'm all right. What I just heard right there was insane. And that is clearly somebody that, well, he's on an agenda. But for me, That's insane. That's insane because, and not only that, it's saying so much. It's saying that we about to do this. What you gonna do about it? You ain't did nothing about nothing no other time. What you gonna do about it? You gonna sit there and scratch your butts and complain like you always have? You're not gonna do nothing. You just gonna sit here. You gonna take this rape, and you gonna like it.
He's telling you what he's about. He said that his great granddad came across in the 1800s. We were already here. But what did the Irish do when they got here? They became the patty rollers. What did the patty rollers do? What's fashioned after the patty rollers? The police departments in the many different municipalities in the various cities of the United States of America. Don't you see? You need to be able to. Did he really win? I don't think he won, so I think it was a cheat. So we need to put the pedal, the foot to the pedal to the metal to push the foot up the butt to make sure that he is talking about us, because he's been talking about them, and you let this go. Whenever he gets with black people, he doesn't talk concerns of black people. He talks symbolic snit. He doesn't talk policy. He gets Obama the bust the left-handed jump shot. Symbolic. And you said, yes, NBA, Obama could have played. I'm voting for Biden. How you gonna fight the Queen's English, huh? How you gonna fight the Queen's English? The Southeast Asians, those are, what are they called? Oh, yeah. Indians from India. Yeah. How you gonna fight the subjects who were subject once to England, which means that they were taught the Queen's English? And he just said that the immigrants come here and they're more American than they become American before the Americans become Americans, because they are productive and they help in the community. What did he say about super predators and how they destroy the community? Who is he talking about?
Who
like the who now? Who is he talking about? Come on, man.
When the British were anyway. So streamlining naturalization process, make it easier for qualified green card holders to move through his backlog. And by the way, he just indicated he ended H-1B visas the rest of this year. That will not be in my administration.
And rather than show some unity, rather than show some respect for this country that gave him literally everything he has, Sean, he turns his back on that country and he says, look at this despicable country. It's broken. He is the first president that has ever sat in the White House and come out of the White House hating America. And that is what I believe about Barack Obama today.
Leo, he says xenophobia, anti-intellectualism, paranoid conspiracy theories, and an antipathy toward black and brown folks were finding their way to center stage in 2008. And I'm like, well, conspiracy theories, that's all we've got from his party for the last 4 years. Lies and conspiracy theories.
Well, it's a classic situation of identity politics. What Candace said is absolutely correct. Here's a man who is now blaming his failure for 8 years based on racism. Let's look at what happened during his 8 years. Black Lives Matter came about. Black poverty rate increased. This is a man who is now using racism as a basis to justify his failure. And he's playing the race card. And you know what? He's right about one thing. It did give Donald Trump the rise because Donald Trump asked black Americans, what do you have to lose? You just had 8 years of Barack Obama. Nothing happened. Give me a chance. And guess what? After 2016, more and more African Americans, more and more people of color look at Donald Trump for one reason, because he's not playing the race card.
Look, let's pause that right there for a second. Look, there are American black people who sit up there, well, he really couldn't do nothing because, you know, he was black and they was racist. I want you to go get the boot shine right now, and I want you to go get the reddest lipstick that you possibly can, and I want you to draw it on the top under your nose, all the way. Make a semicircle with the red lipstick, okay? And then I want you to take the boot shine, the black boot shine. I want you to minstrel show. I want you to black face up. Because that is your mentality. The man was elected president, and now he's using your black face to try to stay relevant with you because he is getting doors slammed on him by the Caucasians who see him no longer as the magical Negro, but a feckless leader who did nothing in 8 years. What did Obama do in 8 years? What did Obama do in 8 years for American black people? And that's what makes him a feckless leader, because the whites say, if I was in there and I'm a black person, I'm in there, I'm a white person, I'm going to do for white people. And it'd be trickled down for everybody else. So I would at least expect a black man to get in there like I thought and do something for his own people. But you know what he did? He did zero. I want you to get the reddest lipstick that you can. And I want you to get the blackest shiny boot shine that you can. And I want you to color your lips around your lips, around red, bright red. I want you to put the boot shine on your face, because you are surely a minstrel. Because he sure can't come out and bust that left-handed jump shot. That's what we do, Amos. That's what we do, Amos. What's 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5? I was sitting there at the corner and I was saying, hey, you know, then people was racist, and then, you know, it's like non-intellectual bullshit. And then when I came in, it all converged in 08, because I thought I was the magical Negro, but instead I was just a feckless leader after 8 years. But I'm going to write a book about racism, because I know that blacks are stuck right there with that boot shine on their face and those red lips. We went easier the first 3 days, right? We went easier, but this is the last day of this. 4 episodes of this. You know why. You've been watching. And so 4 episodes of this, a 4-legged stool on this, right? To bring this information to you, right? You cannot allow a feckless leader by the name of Barack, my opinion, my observation, a feckless leader, Barack Hussein Obama, to fool you to go buy his book. His book should be flat sales, flat line by American blacks. You shouldn't buy anything because you did nothing and you didn't say anything. If Trump was so bad, you could have spoke up before. But you know what Trump did, though? He shut out all the illegals, which opened up jobs on all levels of jobs for American black people. Why? Because we're the most educated in this society. Because they told us if you get educated, then you'll be able to do. And because they were letting in the immigrants and letting them step over you, Biden just said that his great-great-great-great-great-grandfather came in. And that's what he's equating. The Irish came in and stepped over and brought the word nig to the soil, American blacks. You need to read about the NAACP office in the 1920s, and the Irishmen busted to the office and say, these niggas are taking our jobs. But in actuality, the niggas from Ireland were taking American black jobs. Are you going to let that happen again, or are you going to be ready? Because then the Dreamers, and then the other illegals, and then the 90,000 refugees, and then the 500,000 Indians from India are going to come in. They're going to say, American blacks, these Kaffas are taking our jobs. You just got to laugh to let history keep repeating itself like what it's doing. Like, I mean, it's just like, you just got to have, it's like, cuckoo, get your boots shine, because somebody's going to be doing a minstrel show. Y'all going to be entertaining. And wait until he get in the White House. Wait until he gets in the White House. It's gonna be like party time, party. I'm gonna ask Cube to come there and perform. Cube gonna say, hell no, nigga, I'm not a minstrel.
He looks at performance. And in those 3.5 years, those 4 years of Donald J. Trump, he's done more than the 8 years of Obama and Biden. And that's what frustrates Barack Obama.
That's a great point.
So that's why he has to go to the race card. One other factor, Leo Trell and Candace Owens, Leo Trell 2.0 and Candace Owens, we have never argued before in our life. Never.
Okay. Now, Candace, now think about it. Opportunity zones, record low unemployment for every demographic group, something Obama.
My mother always used to say, an old man always want to be patting on something. I just had the observation, like, me and Candace have never argued ever. And she that was flirting. An old man always want to be patting on something. Let's continue.
Obama never got done. Historically black colleges, you know the whole list. Why didn't they get it done?
Well, I'll tell you why, because what the Democrats do is they look at black voters and they see them as a means to an end, right? They don't ever want to repair the issues that are in black America because they want them as a permanent voting bloc. And that's just the truth. And what's remarkable to me, Sean, is that they can't look and just assess things as they are. Despite their rhetoric, here's what's incredible. Despite their rhetoric, despite them calling Donald J. Trump a racist, he's been called racist more than plausibly any human being that's ever walked the face of the planet. Despite that, he increased his support among black women. He doubled it. And he garnered 18% of the black male vote. Everything has gone up. His numbers have gone up. Do you think that they could have the humility to pause for a second and say, you know what? Maybe it's not because every single person in America is a racist. Maybe it's not because 73 million people in America are racist. Maybe it's because we're getting something wrong and there is something happening and people are standing behind Donald J. Trump because he's an effective and a good leader who tells the truth and doesn't, as Leo Trell pointed out, doesn't run on identity politics.
Leo, 30 seconds. Barack Obama partnered with a guy that praised the former Klansman, partnered with that former Klansman to stop school integration.
Well, this is the problem. This is the problem with the Democrats. If you have a D in your name, your racism is excused. As Candace said, Donald Trump has done more for black Americans, the Platinum Plan, than anyone else. And I also want to raise one other point. Joe Biden, Black Lives Matter has no basis for having a meeting. They don't represent me. They don't represent Candace. So Black Lives Matter, you are a fringe socialist group, and that is a mistake.
All right, people. So we talked about the anarchists and all that. You need to go back to those shows where we broke down anarchists versus accelerationists. We broke it down in nauseam, right? So what can be said? Like, we have laid this out to you. It's laid out. It's to the point of what's going on, right? Now, there's something in there that I wanted to talk about, and I think it's something that she says. I want to play this real quick.
In America are racist. Maybe it's because we're getting something wrong and there is something happening and people are standing behind Donald J. Trump because he's an effective and a good leader who tells the truth and doesn't, as Leo Terrell pointed out, doesn't run on identity politics.
Leo, 30 seconds. Barack Obama partnered with a guy that praised the former Klansman, partnered with that former Klansman to stop school integration.
Well, this is the problem. This is the problem with the Democrats. If you have a D in your name, your racism is excused. As Candace said, Donald Trump has done more for black Americans, the Platinum Plan, than anyone else. And I also want to raise one other point. Joe Biden, Black Lives Matter has no basis for having a meeting. They don't represent me. They don't represent Candace. So Black Lives Matter, you are a fringe socialist group, and that is a mistake.
All right. So if you have a D, your racism is excused. It's the greatest flip on American black people's fortune ever to make you forget that this was the party of lynching, the party of Jim Crow, the party of segregationists, the party of the Confederate. It's like you're sitting up here and it's constantly going around and it's going around in this circle, and it's like an infinity circle, and you need to get off. You need to get off and get on and think of something else, right? So we laid this out to you. We've brought this to you. We've shown you what it is, right? We've shown you that even when it's a Democrat administration, matter of fact, more black men and women are dying at the hands of police. Why? Because they know, wink, wink, what the party is in office. Both are racist. So, did he really win? Just let the fox in the hen house 4. Believe Biden won, you're part of the problem. What I need you to do is go to the store, get you the reddest lipstick, get you some blackest boot black ever, and I want you to do it up because, you see, we live in a society that was based on using us as free labor. And once we were no longer able to be used as free labor, they got a resentment because once we got free, even though we didn't have anything, they didn't leave us with anything. They gave us no money, no nothing, and we still build. But because we were not made right, we were not repaired, we did not get reparations, we stay at a certain level. And they know that if we stay at that certain level, they will be ensured that they will have, like Candace Owens said, a voting bloc. But now they're moving to try to make the Mexican, the Hispanic, the Latino, Latina, the new voting bloc. And they're bringing in refugees from, let's pick a place. Any place over there that's in the middle in the Caucasus Mountains. That's what it is. Cambodia. Yeah, let's just say that. Right? And they are bringing in Indians from India who will be your managers, who will find a way to relieve you of your job. Do you understand? Do you understand what this is? To make you a third, fourth, no citizen of the United States of America because they're tired of hearing about you not getting. It makes them feel bad. Did you see the skit with Uncle Ben on Saturday Night Live, Dave Chappelle? And Baldwin's character says, it's not how you make people feel, it's how you make us feel for what we did to you. That's why we have to take you off the packaging, because it's about how it makes us feel about what we did to you. Not about what we did to you, but it makes us feel bad, and we're fragile. We have white fragility, and we don't want to recognize what we did. So we're going to take you off the package altogether. They don't want people that will remind them of what they did. So they'll go get other people who were victimized by another set of whites, because it's global white supremacy, and bring them over, and they have no axe to grind. You see how sinisterly great that is? Oh yeah, I was just thinking about this, and then we're gonna close out here. I was thinking about this. Black people opening businesses. You open your business in the black community, and you say the black community does not support your business. Guess what? You should open your business in the white community. You know how the Arab and various Asians, they open up the business, but they live with the whites. Well, you live with the blacks, and you open your business in the white neighborhood, right? It's going to be guaranteed that they're going to blow down on you in a positive way to eat your barbecue, to eat your chitlins, to eat your chicken, to eat that, because they cannot season as well as you. As long as you don't give the secret. Start thinking differently. This is everything that we're talking about. This is part of the plan too. You have to begin to open your businesses in white communities, purposefully targeted to the group of people. Check out what they eat, see what the similarities are, and say they will eat this because they eat hog maws. They will definitely eat the chitlins. And so, because they eat the snoot of the pig, they're gonna eat the tuna. So let's open up there. Definitely because they eat the ham, they're definitely gonna eat the ribs. So let's open up there. I'm just using pork. You know, pork is a delicacy. Like, they came back, but they can't quite cook it the way that we cook. But anyway, look. I'm just telling you, that's just one business, restaurant, soul food as they call it. You know, but there's other businesses that you can open that are authentic, that they cannot get the authentic, because they're always looking for the exotic, the authentic feel. And that's where you will win. You have to, okay, my people won't, but this Asian community will. This white community will. This African from Africa community will. Just like they open up the braiding in the black community because they know how to braid. Black people have been knowing how to braid for years in America. But the Africans come and they open up braiding. Well, open up something that they can't get readily. But you know that their taste buds or their sensibilities are similar. We have to start to think out the box. That's also part of 4. Open your businesses in other communities other than your own, and you shall prosper. If you have 1,000,001 soul food joints all in the same neighborhood, it cancels each other out. But when you go out into neighborhoods that they don't have that, then it doesn't cancel out. When you bring something authentic of yourself that can be a commodity to be so. We've been talking about commodities and futures and sell. You're talking about the future of your family. You have to move away from being in the hood, the neighborhood, and move into places that would not usually see you, but they're going to pile in and purchase your product, whatever that product is, because it's authentic. It's something that they can't do. All right, people. So, you know, that's the closing. So we're going to type all this up and have all this up for you to have, you know. And so we've got 12 minutes, 6 minutes. You got 6 minutes to close.
Just now, Dee just mentioned about going into the white communities and opening with a purpose in mind. See, this is being purpose driven is what has been lacking with us all along. Being purpose driven. If you have no vision, you perish or you cast off restraints. But see, here's the thing, purpose driven will help you jump over the hurdles that are put in your way. But because there's going to be a lot. Because I years ago, I don't know what's going on in Chardon now, but years ago, Chardon didn't have no Arab stores. They wouldn't allow them to come into their neighborhoods and open stores. And they can go live there, but they wasn't coming in there because in their mind, all they can envision is riffraff coming with them. Because what is sold in the Arab stores? Oh, we got the secondhand cell phones. We got the gold-plated jewelry. We even got grills now. I don't know if those things turn colors or not. We got grills. You can snap them in your mouth. You don't even know if they've been in somebody else's mouth first. You don't know. You going in there buying that stuff, and you got liquor. You got wild Irish rose. You got orange jubilee. You got brass monkey. You got the cheap wine. The one that's $1.99. $1.99. You get some Lambrusco. You got what's the other cheap wine? Cisco gut rot gut wine. And then the next level up is then you got Paul Masson. That's not wine, that's a liquor. Then you got I don't know, the next level up wine that mostly everybody buy. That because can't afford to buy the expensive wine, so you buy the cheap wine that's got arsenic, levels of arsenic. They came out with that in the news years ago, 10 years ago. There is arsenic. Each wine company has a subsidiary that they sell in the hood, They have the subsidiaries that they sell in the hood. It's cheaper. It's got grades of arsenic in it that is passed by the USDA to poison you, make you slow and lethargic. And let's keep adding white sugar to Coke and Pepsi. It's I don't with purpose, y'all. Purpose, because when you go into those areas, they're going to say that the rent to rent any space in those areas is going to be astronomical. It's going to be quite a bit different than what you're going to pay for in the hood. Your tax is going to be quite a bit different than you're going to pay for. So when you go in, you will have had to do you're going to have to research first. When you have purpose, you're going to have to research, because you're going to have you anticipate there are other hurdles you're going to have to jump over and things that you're going to have to get around. So you have to research to see what those things are. Zoning, you got to research that. You got to research the historical, how things have moved in as far as stores and bakeries and whatever it is that you desire to open, clothing stores, or just mom and pop stores, period. You got to examine how that is, or maybe not a mom and pop store, maybe going in with something bigger. But you Black, research the ratio of how many Black businesses are in that area, just to see. You got to examine your competition, how many white businesses are selling what you're selling. Research. See, if you're going to get anywhere, you got to research. Train your mind and know you got to research. But with purpose, and a lack of purpose is what's wrong with us right now. I'm not saying everybody. And those of us who have a purpose are operating in our purpose. But those who are not, y'all just sitting around talking, sitting around jaw-jacking, sitting around, oh yeah, you're sitting around partying. I bet y'all when the what you thought were the election results, which by the way, there's so much inflation going on different sites. Now they got the electoral vote for Biden up to 290. Now 270 was needed, right? They had him at 280 and had Trump stuck at 214 for days while Biden's was still climbing, like wasn't nothing going on for Trump. And then now Biden is at 290 and Trump got 3 more, 217. Like nobody is really feeling him at all. Do you not know what a farce that is and how unrealistic that is? So if you are siding with the person who stole an election, then you're going to just get what you get. But during that time, maybe you can learn your lesson, powder your booty and put some Vaseline on your booty, and heal while you in this process. Because you got to take it. Once he in there, you got to take it. You got to take whatever he bringing. How about 11 million dreamers, 500,000 Indians, and refugees? And you paying for it. Thank you, American blacks, for forfeiting your reparations money.
Wow. 11 million dreamers, 90 million refugees. That's 1 million. 500,000 Indians from India, and a partridge in a pear tree. Wow. They really got you. They got us this time. They got us. They breaking down the 12 days of Christmas my true hater lover gave to me. 11,000 dreamers, 9 million, 90 million refugees, 500,000 Indians from India, and a partridge in a pear tree. They got you, buddy. But anyway, look, people, listen. You like what we bring to you every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. On the left side is Cash App. Take your QR code, scan the barcode, or go over to the PayPal and scan that code. Let me do this because there is some obstruction. You might not be able to scan it. So let me go like this. There we go. So scan that QR code for Cash App at $TFR Podcast Live, or go right over to the PayPal and scale that one. It'll take you right there. Drop a few dollars on the account to let us know that you appreciate what we bring to you Monday through Friday, and once on Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern with hashtag TFR Podcast Live. All right, people. So look, we had a little humor today, but this is very detrimental. You let this segregationist fool you. You let a person who is half immigrant, half American, Caucasian, you let a woman say that she's black, who is half Jamaican, half Indian, both immigrant parents, not from your lineage, fool you into voting. And if you say, well, people deserve to come here and find work, you have children, right? They have children, right? Do they deserve to come in and find work and step over you to get it and make you a third, fourth class citizen in your country that your ancestors built, that we need now reparations, we need our repair? We told you it only took 95 years for Jerusalem. It's 401 now. If you believe that we should be uncle and mammy, I need you to go to the store. Honest everything. and you believe that they can come in and step over us, and you're not willing to stand up and say, look, did you really win? Because I don't think so. And because I don't think so, we need for you to be talking about us and putting some laws down about us that are not detrimental for us, American black people. But if you're not about that and you're about kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya, I need you to go to the store, pick you out the reddest lipstick or face paint that you can get. I need you to do all this red, and I need you to find the blackest boot shine possible. I need you to put on that boot shine. I want you to put on a boot shine like the end of Hell Up in Harlem. No, excuse me. The end of Black Caesar. I need you to put on the bootlick like the way that Fred Williamson put the bootlick on the cop that had crippled him as a little boy as the storyline went. Black Caesar, I want you to put on the black boot shine like that. Because if you're not about the upliftment of American black people and you believe everybody else should come in and step over, you are a coon. And get ready for your children and your children's children to be in the minstrel show. We will see you on Monday with another great episode of #ObservationTFR by Crazy D with my special guest host, my sister Tanya M. Congress. We'll see you on Monday.
Here's the thing about your movie, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe community. Crazy.